utilize it different ways. You can either make it for breakfast. The way I'm going to be making it is also with a chocolate mousse. No sugar, very low glycemic index. So you can kind of also make a smaller portion, maybe dessert if you want to, you know, kind of have a little snack. With the crepes, I'm using buckwheat flour. Buckwheat flour is a little different. It's definitely an acquired taste. It's going to have a lot of different tasted flour, but it's a really good gluten-free option if you guys are, you know, sensitive in that area or are celiac. Also, as she said, very low glycemic index, and it's going to make you a little fuller. It's not going to, you know, just kind of spike up your sugar so high. So maybe that might be a better start for the day and keep you a little fuller longer. So pretty much, crepes are very, very simple. It's just a couple of ingredients, and then you kind of just whisk it up and put it right in the pan. We have a luxury of having a crepe pan from my lovely chef.
Bonjour.
Right? But, you know, as we're starting, I would like to have the pan a little hot, so I just kind of start, you know, heating that up. And what I do is add about a cup and a fourth of buckwheat flour, 3 eggs, this is regular fat-free milk, but you can also substitute it with almond milk. Almond milk will give it a little different taste as well, but definitely slowly add it if you're going to add any other milk, just because you might not know the consistency it's going to make. So crepes are very adjustable, so you can always add more liquid or add more flour at the end if it doesn't work out for you. So this is about another cup of milk, and this is about 1/4 cup of olive oil. You can use regular oil, or you can, you know, cut back a little bit, but it's not that much for how many crepes that this does make. Also, I'm adding some water. Buckwheat flour definitely absorbs a lot of water, so you might want to add a little bit more liquid to this than you would an all-purpose. So that's why this one's a little different. And then, just as simple as that, all your ingredients, and then you're just gonna mix that up. Whisk it a little bit. Crepes are usually it's a lot thinner batter than a pancake, so don't be alarmed if it is, you know, more liquidy than normal. Also, you know, even me, I've only really worked with buckwheat flour a handful of times, and I still have to adjust it at the end. It's just, you know, don't down yourself for it. It's just kind of what it is. But after all that's mixed, I already have it made, so we're going to use that one. Power TV. Exactly. Exactly. But this is pretty much what it is when it comes down to it. That other one was a little bit more thinner, but then just add a little bit more flour. That's okay. And then yeah, you'll have enough, so you can always try it and test it and do all those kind of things. So my pan's pretty hot. I'm just going to turn this off for now because it is pretty hot.
What do you need? Oh yeah.
I'll just put it on this one.
You sure?
Yeah, this actually looks pretty. Alright. So, always, especially if you have the heat on, always spray away from the heat. Because I have done way too many times where you're spraying it on it and just the gases and the different things from the pan will let the flame go crazy. So, just letting you know the mistakes I've made. Alright, and also to this, it didn't have any sugar, any, you know, added tiny, like a 4th teaspoon of salt, but that's it. So I did add a little bit of lemon zest to kind of spice it up a little bit, and we're also having it with a chocolate avocado mousse, so I think it'll pair really nicely, and some fruit, so I'll freshen it up. So this is a 4-ounce ladle, that's about half a cup. So I kind of do a little bit less. You always can add more, but I just don't want to add too much, and then it's going to be too thick. These crepes are supposed to be very thin. So I add about that much, and then I kind of swirl it around in the pan before I am going to add any more. So I think that's pretty good. So maybe a little less than half a cup. So I think that heat was really good. So I'm just going to turn it back on and keep it at maybe like a medium. I like when crepes they're super quick, super easy, and I like them a little bit brown. So I just kind of give it a little crunch. But crepes, again, are very quick. You can already see around the edges how it's starting to get like a little matte. That's how you, that's not like so shiny. That's how you know that it's starting, that it pretty much cooked through. But still a little bit on here, so I'll let it go a little bit more. And as you're, you know, as it's in the pan, just pull away from the side so you know that it's not sticking. But This one's pretty good. Kevin, do you want to do the honors of flipping? Since you are so good at it. You guys could just use a spatula, but I know he likes to flip it.
So I just kind of like this.
I helped you out.
So the thing that you have to do when you flip it is just make sure you have like confidence. Like you have to like commit to it. You can't just like, if you don't, it's gonna show, and then you'll be like, Ricky made this one.
Oh yeah.
So okay. So you know what? Totally fine. You just like
Slides right back.
done.
Thank you.
Oh no.
Kevin, do you actually want to make 2 more while I start?
I would love
I
to.
utilize my resources pretty well. Let me make 2 more, and then I'll start on how to move for you guys. Alright, so the blender's back there, and I'm just going to set it up here, and then just kind of. So this avocado mousse is definitely a great alternative. I actually, as well as some other people, are in what we call DHD, which is Designing Healthy Desserts. So that's how I discovered this recipe. So it's pretty much a really great alternate for a chocolate ganache or something with super high sugar, really high glycemic index, something that you kind of want to steer away from. But this one doesn't have any agave or any sweetener. You can add agave, but you know, since we're trying to focus on low glycemic, I just kind of left it as is. So, to this, we add chia. The recipe actually calls for chia powder. You probably see it in your standard recipe cards. We don't have chia powder, but what I'm just going to do is just add the exact amount of chia and then just blend it up. You know, we have a really good high power blender, so it's probably going to do it really well, but I mean, it's not that bad if you still have a little chunks. Chia seeds are very soft and they get really, really actually soft with other liquids, so it's not going to be too bad. So I add about maybe 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. And then you just put that on for a couple seconds. I don't know if you can really see, but I'm just pulsing it. Have you guys ever worked with chia seeds?
Tried it.
Yeah, I think recently it's really starting to get a good kick, and it's, I mean, for all the good reasons. It has really good fat. It substitutes a lot, especially if you guys are vegan. Are any of you guys vegan or vegetarian? Okay. Well, we have what I like to do is I like to make pudding with chia. I don't know if you've ever done that, and just kind of let it soak in almond milk overnight, or kind of maybe add like a tiny bit of honey or fresh fruits. Definitely soak it in some water and use it as a substitute sometimes for eggs and recipes, but definitely maybe do some research before you just substitute all chia seeds for eggs. But this is really easy. All I did was take about an avocado and a half. I used the other half from Karina's recipe. Add that to the blender. Add some cocoa powder. This is about a 1/3 cup cocoa powder. Go back and see. And then I add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of almond milk. Again, this particular recipe is vegan, so it just used almond milk. You can use regular milk if you do prefer to. I like almond milk though, it kind of gives it a little different flavor, and I'm also going to add a little bit of almond extract to kind of boost up that flavor as well.
What do you need?
Almond extract?
It should be tucked over there. Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at your lovely assistant.
Thank you.
So nice.
I tried. Good guy.
And then I just add a little teaspoon. Again, extract is very strong, so don't add too much. Just a couple drops.
Have you ever tried using the chocolate almond milk?
Ooh, I've had it, but I've never tried it in a recipe. I usually don't make stuff like this at home, and we usually don't, I don't really get it at school, but I mean, I would understand, or I would see how that would work perfectly with this too. Yeah, definitely. But the only thing is with those, they're probably already sweetened since it has the chocolate, so that's another thing that it's just maybe better to use that one and then the cocoa powder, but that's also a great alternative. If you don't want to add sweetener, just have it a little sweet. So with this blender and what maybe might your blenders might have is something with a stick, and I like to use it because with thicker sauces and everything, you might just need to push that down and really puree it. Sometimes it doesn't do it on its own, so that's why I'm using this, especially with the avocado. So just kind of put that in the blender, kind of mix that around a little bit. Kind of let that go for a little bit, and then you can kind of look in it, see what it's doing. If it's still a little thick, then just right on the top, just add a little bit more almond milk until you get the desired consistency. I like it really, really smooth. I like it. It's almost like a Nutella kind of. Probably doesn't need that much. Alright, so I'm going to have a plastic cover for this. So yeah, pretty much it. I mean, if you could even smell it, it smells really good.
Like I made
It's like
it.
an almond. You can't really even know that it smells like avocado at all, or really good avocado. Avocado doesn't have a smell. It smells really good. It's the almond extract then.
Yeah.
Would you like to smell it?
Of course I would.
Oh,
Yum.
yummy.
Oh my god. Yeah. That almond extract is, I love that almond extract. That really.
That's very good.
Good job, Brittany.
Awesome. So now what we're gonna do is just put it in a little piping bag. Lovely chef provided for me.
We forgot our piping bag at school, but it's kind of fun to, I don't know if anyone's
Yeah, I
piped.
mean, you improvise. It's okay. You can use a Ziploc bag or anything. Just kind of scoop that out. And just hold it and scoop that right in the bag. So I like to get it right towards the bottom so that it's not so much mess when you get to the top and then trying to scoop it all the way down. So since we're only using it for those 3 curves, I'll just put a little bit in there. Alright. So once you have that in your bag, just kind of squeeze it so all of it goes down. Zach, you wanna
Absolutely.
To the honors.
cutting off
Absolutely.
the ends for me?
I guess avocado on avocados. Never
Yeah,
bad
it's all
thing.
good. I mean, again, you don't have to put it in a piping bag. You can just kind of spread it even in between the crepes if you want to, but I just kind of like the design of it. So, pipe goes right on. Little cool design. And then I have great fresh fruits to kind of top that off. Some raspberries. Just kind of throw a couple of those on there. I think honestly this is a great way to start your day. You have fresh fruit, you have good antioxidants from the cocoa powder, you have good fats from the avocado, gluten-free from the buckwheat. And then we have some sliced strawberries. Looks really good.
Nice job, Zach.
Yeah, right? Oh yeah, Zach also cut these for me. It seems like I'm the one that needs it. And he did this too, so I'll definitely present that one. That one's the best. Yep, so that's a quick, easy way to start a day or finish off the day you want to have in smaller portions. Great low glycemic meal, and I really like it. I hope you guys do too.
Did you make the crepes like the night before, or
Oh yeah,
freeze them,
definitely
you
you can
think?
make a day in advance. I would do it just in the refrigerator one day. I don't know, freezing it and then thawing it out. I think crepes might be too delicate to unfreeze, but definitely make that advance. Even make the batter in advance and just throw them on the pan in the morning. And just already have everything cut, or make the avocado mousse in advance as well.
Would you just layer